What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you how you can build a SaaS, software as a service, that's worth 7 figures in just 10 minutes. I'm not joking. I'll give you the step-by-step blueprint on how to go from zero to building your own software as a service empire. So make sure you watch until the end, because you're only one good idea away from changing your life and your financial situation forever. Exiting a software business can literally make you a multi-millionaire. And it's not even that hard to do with all the tools that are available today. So I'm not going to beat around the bush any longer. Let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is have an idea, right? Generating an idea is where a lot of people get hung up, and it's probably what's kept a lot of you from starting a software business or anything else for that matter to begin with. So there's a lot of things that you can do. The first thing you can do is head over to acquire.com, filter for software companies with over $200,000 in annual recurring revenue. This is how you ensure that you have a product market fit, meaning that you know that there's a market for the product you want to create. Then what you do is you analyze the reviews on platforms like G2 to identify recurring problems or feature requests or anything like that that gives you an opportunity. This information will be the foundation of your unique selling proposition, thing that makes your software unique compared to everyone else's. Now that you have your idea, step 2 is to validate your idea. You have to ensure that your idea is good, meaning it's something businesses truly need for their operations. Check if there's competitors. This may seem counterintuitive, but having them is a positive sign of a validated idea. It means that there are already people willing to pay for it. And then you need to figure out the total addressable market of your software, meaning the maximum number of people that this could ever possibly reach, and so that you know that there's enough growth potential in the future. This is all kind of tedious research stuff, but it's really, really important to make sure before you spend tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in marketing and promoting a software and tons of time, that there's an actual interest and a need for it. If you nail this before you start, the rest of this journey is going to be so much easier. So do the work on this and get it right so we can move on to phase 2, which is building your minimum viable product. That means the absolute bare bones thing that you can take to market to start selling it. Where a lot of people go wrong with software or any other type of business is by trying to build out the entire thing with a full feature set before they launch it and see what people actually want, see what breaks, and so on. So you're going to have to choose your building approach. If you're not a technical person, I certainly am not, and you're on a budget, consider platforms like softer.io or no-code tools. If you do happen to have some technical skills, options like bubble.io or just custom coding might be a better fit for you. It just depends on where you're at. Personally, I suggest starting with something like bubble.io because it has a much more user-friendly interface and it's easier to learn and therefore easier to get to market. Next is the validation process. Once you have your minimum viable product ready, you introduce it to the market for their initial feedback. You can do this through social media channels like Twitter or X, YouTube, Facebook, whatever you have access to. Just launch it to them and get their feedback on it. Use this phase to assess the strengths of your product, of your software, and see what areas of improvement that you have as well so you can make a better product. This phase is very, very important for scalability because you're going to make people happy, keep them on board, and get good word of mouth and referrals going to help you grow and scale in the future. So now that we've done that, we're ready for the next thing, which is getting our first customers. I recommend using outbound strategies because they're more budget friendly and because you have more control over your customer acquisition. Platforms, again, like Twitter or X, if you prefer. You can use tools like ContactBird for Twitter, LinkedIn with tools like Expandy, and strategic use of Facebook groups. You can't just go in and spam them, but you can subtly build yourself up as an authority by being helpful, leaving helpful comments and things like that. So for example, you can go into a Facebook group that has your audience in it and just make a valuable post talking about whatever your software does. Just talk about the result you got by doing something, but don't mention the software. Just mention how you got to this result. And if people ask, then you can say, well, I used this software that I'm building or something to that effect. Once we do that, we've learned a lot and now we can iterate and continue to grow. So evaluate your customer responses, see what they tell you is good, see what they tell you they don't like. Use that to improve the product. Look at your churn rate. That means the amount of people that cancel every particular month. So if you have 100 people signed up, 10 of them cancel, you have a 10% churn rate. And then look, if you offer a trial, look at trial conversions. So in other words, the number of times you offered a free trial and they ended up staying on to be paid members. And you're probably not going to want to hear this, but you also then need to be prepared to go back to phase one and do some additional research and validation to make sure you're offering the best product possible. And this becomes a never-ending loop of research and improvement, research and improvement, research and improvement, until you have an unstoppable product. And now we can get into the fun part, which is phase three, which is scaling. Scaling involves increasing outreach, hiring sales teams, exploring search engine optimization for your software, and even potentially using paid advertising if you have the budget and the know-how. It's really important that you understand having a budget for your marketing efforts, for your scaling efforts, to make sure that you don't blow it all on one channel that doesn't return an ROI. You have to really, really know your numbers, know how you can grow your platform that way. Scaling is the most difficult part, even though it's the part that most people like to focus on the most, because it's very, very complex. You have to really understand your numbers and make data-based, intelligent decisions that will help your company grow, and not just stuff that feels like it's what you're supposed to do. Don't pick up an article or a YouTube video that says you need to be on TikTok. Do things that the numbers tell you work. Look at your numbers and do the things that they tell you that work, and stop doing the things that tell you that don't. That's the complicated part, is understanding the numbers and making decisions based on them. So you're going to have to really dive in deep on these to scale your software as a service. So there you have it, a roadmap from zero to owning a software as a service company. Remember, success in the SaaS industry is all about making your product better than your competitors. And since we now have no-code SaaS tools, anyone can build their own software and exit it for multi-seven figures. So go out there, do the work, use the 3 keys to success, show up, give 100%, don't quit. And if you want to create a software business, you can do that. Follow this blueprint, use those keys, and go out there and make yourself a life that you deserve. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, I hope you'll do me the favor of subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and leaving a comment with whatever questions or feedback you have for me. I'll do my best to respond to all of them. Otherwise, I'll see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.